Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Single Mother After Abuse, and if you are new here, welcome. I want to take the time to thank all my subscribers, all my listeners. I really do appreciate you guys, so thank you for your continuous support. Today I'll be giving my opinion on the movie A Fall from Grace by Tyler Perry and talk on how the film portrays similar traits to my own life when in a relationship with my ex-narcissist. So let's dive in. A Fall from Grace began by showing the male in the film seek out a female he wanted to get to know. He approached her by asking her out on dates. He started to turn up at her workplace by giving her gifts and flowers. And she felt admired as she had not felt this happiness in a long time. She was a businesswoman. She had a good position at work, but recently got out of a divorce with her ex-husband. She forgot what it felt like to have love and feel like a woman. So as you know, this was spot on for me, as this was part of the love bombing stage. The woman showed her vulnerabilities, revealing way too much information about herself just for the man to later use it against her. They eventually got married, and this is when things started to take a turn for the worst. When she asked him who he was talking to late at night because she missed him in bed, he replied, "I don't like to be questioned." This is the devaluing stage. At this point, she is confused why he would act like this after a simple question. I remember a similar situation where I noticed my ex-narc not being next to me and sleeping in bed, only to be in the next room talking to someone late at night, laughing and joking. The person was on loudspeaker, so I knew it was a female. When I went into the sitting room where he was, he quickly took the call off loudspeaker to ask me what's wrong. I asked him who he was talking to briefly see the name Danielle on the screen, muttering to me, he's coming, like, "I'm coming, babe, I'm coming," fobbing me off. Eventually, when he got off the phone, I said to him, "I know you were talking to a girl. I saw the name Danielle on the screen." He said, "Babe, you're mad. I knew you was going to say that." I asked him, "Let me see your phone." He had a smirk on his face, as usual when I'm asking him something that he feels uncomfortable with. He gives me his phone, and the name is Daniel on the screen. This is gaslighting. Now, before he came to me in the bedroom, he knew, like he said, that I was going to ask him that. He changed the name on the phone to make it look like I didn't see the correct name. He changed the name from Danielle to Daniel to make it seem like I was going mad. When he was fast asleep, I called the number, and guess what? It was a woman that picked up. Now, in my case, I'm still comparing my life to the film. In my case, physical and emotional abuse was present throughout my relationship with my narcissist. But as soon as I gave birth, that was when he didn't need to try and win me back anymore. He didn't need to be in my good books anymore. Why? Because he had me right where he wanted me to be, in his life forever, to be controlled via our child. Now, for some of you, like I said earlier, you would have got married to your narcissist. And that's when things started to change. He didn't need to try with you anymore. He's got you right where he wants you to be. Those of you that are with narcissistic men would know they seek out how they can win in your vulnerable state. It's all about their needs, not yours. They look for where you are vulnerable just to see how they can gain from your situation. The film showed this female had a friend. This friend was acting concerned, supportive of her throughout the film. But then us as the audience gets to realize this friend is actually the mother of the man that is conning her. This is where enablers come into play. That friend helped her son con these innocent women into giving their all to only receive nothing but abuse. In my situation, it was my Minox Mother that turned against me. On 2 occasions, my Minox mother saw her son violent towards me. We had many talks together about her son, and she mentioned herself that her son needed counselling because he also used to put his hands on his sister, which is her daughter. She would feed me every time I went round to her house, buy me gifts for Christmas. You know, she was like the perfect mother-in-law, even though we wasn't married. But you know what I'm trying to say. She really, in my head, understood my problems with her son. She even confided in me about their rocky relationship, and she felt that he was jealous of the younger sister. To later stop calling me and my daughter to find out how her grandchild is, to tell me she doesn't want her son seeing her granddaughter at her house anymore, to later come to court to tell the police I punched her son after a child arrangements hearing. You know, the lies coming from both of them really damaged me as a person. And honestly, I felt like I had lost a family member with her. I classed her as family because we were very, very, very close. I failed to understand why a mother would stick by her son like this when she saw how abusive he was to me. People would say to me, it's because it's her son. It's because it's her son. Where I would reply, no. As a woman, I would be teaching my son to do the right thing. I would not be sticking up for my son if he was doing wrong by his woman, wrong by other women. He would need to be a man. Fight to be a better man for himself and for his family, and do the right thing by his child and by the mother of his child, whether together or not. Anyway, I liked how the film portrayed the female stuck in a situation. To me, it showed reactive abuse. The lady was being held in jail because she lashed out. Now, in my situation, the narc held me and my daughter hostage in his mother's house one day after he assaulted me. This was 7 days after I gave birth. He told me, I hope you die, just because I didn't want his mother to bath our child. He lashed out. He pushed me onto the bed to strangle me. I called the police, and guess what? The police arrested me because they said I admitted to scratching him. I said, because he had his arms around my neck, it was self-defense. I couldn't breathe. His grip was too tight. If I scratched him, it was because it was a mistake for me trying to get away. They said, yes, but you admitted something. He hasn't admitted anything. So they took me away in the police van, left my child with the father, the same father that assaulted me, and I called the police for help to the scene for me and my child to get away from the father. They left my child with the father to give me a caution for common assault. Even though I was trying to escape his mother's house to leave the toxic situation, all I wanted was help from the police, and they arrested me. A new breastfeeding mother that had just given birth. If you don't know what reactive abuse is, it's when the victim reacts to the abuse they are experiencing. The victim may scream, toss out insults, or even lash out physically at the abuser. But with me, that wasn't reactive abuse. He's one that abused me. The reason I mention reactive abuse now is because the film portrayed reactive abuse, and it's something I urge victims to really research. Okay? The abuser then retaliates by telling the victim that they are, in fact, the abuser. So anyway, I hope that was clear for you. Check out the film if you haven't done so already. It may be difficult for some of you to watch, but it is very insightful. For me, the more I read about narcissism and watched films on abuse, it made me realize I wasn't the problem. Because the narcissist tends to make out like you are the problem. And, you know, once you research narcissism, it will give you peace of mind. Overall, I give the film a 7 out of 10. There were parts where I thought, Tyler could have emphasized on that a little bit more. But hey, he done a good job. So, subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next video. Take care and level up.